What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Fledgling Gamer here with a actual build for elemental weapons. Now, the armor I'm wearing uses the gauntlets that are from the Xeno'jiiva. They are just to give me the critical boost, which critical boost is an increase in 5% more damage each time you critical hit. So it's useful, but it's not necessary. So the reason this is my all-time favorite elemental type build, first off, it's got a lot of versatility. I don't have to use ice with this. I can switch it out and use thunder or something else along those lines. But the reason I'm using this is because of the white sharpness, and it's a good showcase for something like if you're having trouble with the what is it called, Teostra. You could just put this set on and absolutely destroy his face. Because, so, here's the gist of it. First off, you got an attack boost at 7 because of the Rathalos armor and the Nergigante waistband. And the charm that I have that has attack boost plus 3. So that adds up to 7. Then you have Weakness Exploit, which I have a decoration for Weakness Exploit. It can be traded out for something else. But Weakness Exploit would still be at 2, which is still 30% chance of critical hits. And on a Sword and Shield, that adds up pretty quickly. So, I also have Flinch Free, which is also from the gauntlets. Doesn't matter. But down here at the bottom right, it says Rathalos Mastery. And it says Critical Element. So, let's check out and see what that does really quick. Rathalos Mastery increases elemental damage when landing a critical hit. So not only does your normal damage do bonus damage, your elemental damage does bonus damage. So if you don't know how elemental damage works, basically it's a hidden damage. You don't actually see the value of the damage pop up. It's like in the previous games where damage numbers were never a thing. But in this one, they put damage numbers in it, but they didn't put the element damage numbers in it. If they did, your screen would pretty much be covered in numbers, because elemental damage is a damage on top of the damage, so it would tick 2 times for each hit. The Sword and Shield is a little interesting with elements, so only the sword does elemental damage. So in other words, in most attack scenarios, you attack with the sword, and then you elbow or you hit with the shield. Those don't do elemental damage. Only the sword does. Weakness Exploit, 30% bonus affinity. It's 50% right now because I have it at 3. That's really useful, and the reason I have Death Stanch armor is because of that spicy 20% sharpness, which actually fills up my my white sharpness gauge pretty high. It's pretty nice. The reason I have actually, you're missing one of the skills. Nope, it's right there. Divine Blessing. The reason I have Divine Blessing is because this armor isn't fully upgraded, so every now and then I run into a fight that I'm not quite ready for, which doesn't really happen very often, because if I'm set up like this, then the elemental damage that I'm putting out is specifically for that monster. Now, this build, the reason I say that it can be changed around with a different element is because, well, check this out. This one right here. So I did change out the chest piece and the wastings and the gauntlets. And this is the fire attack one. So it does have Weakness Exploit and the critical element, which those are the 2 big factors in this. It also has fire attack plus 2, but the only reason I didn't bring it up any higher is because if you look on the right, you see the element is orange. That means it's capped out. It can't go any higher. But Yeah, it's kind of nice. So the reason I stuck with the Kushala Deora is because it gives me the white sharpness, and white sharpness, if you don't already know, increases elemental damage as well as your normal damage. So, all in all, this set is it's basically the same thing, just with a few things swapped around. But I have a set for each element excluding poison. I don't have poison yet. But let's check out my blast. It's very similar. It uses Zora Magdaros and has weakness exploit. So free element up in order to unlock my Palulumu's blast damage. So it puts me at 410 blast damage. And then I have weakness exploit at 3, divine blessing at 3, and blast attack at 3. So blast attack increases the blast damage by, well, not the actual damage, but the buildup by a lot. So not only am I doing 410, but also because of the Zora Magdaros critical status ability, every time I get a critical hit, the status effect is doubled. Or something like that. It's increased. It's not doubled, it's increased. So yeah. That's that. Unfortunately, I don't have white sharpness with this. It can get up to white sharpness, but in order to have this set the way I want it, I can't get it to white sharpness, unfortunately. But it is, all in all, a really good set. A pretty easy to set to get after you kill the Kirin and the... what is it called? Teostra. I don't know why I'm stumbling over the names right now, but basically this uses the Zora Magdaros armor. I also have the Water Elemental one, which uses a very similar one to the Ice. Water sometimes is more effective than ice damage, so I decided to make this. It has water attack at 3 because that's where it caps out, or at 4 because that's where it caps out. I have weakness exploit at 3, that way I get the 50% damage boost. I had to get free element for this. I have the critical boost on the gauntlets. I have a health boost just to fill in the gaps, and I have max attack. So these are just sword and shields, but you can change it around to have different weapons, like the dual blades or something like that. Of course, I don't know exactly what, but you know, like if I wanted to set this up to be on that, all I need to do is go switch over to my blast. And then I would change out, since they're not fully upgraded, I'm not going to do this anyway. And then I would change this out to the Death Stench to give that bonus sharpness. And right now I have weakness exploit at 2. I can bring it up to another rank. And then this whole set just takes off. Because... oh, wait a minute. 150 blast. That's apparently its max blast. That's disappointing. Or I could use the longsword. Right here. Yeah, see, that'd put me at 370. And white sharpness. See, this is, you know, a solid set. Weakness exploit isn't capped out, so I'd have to set a decoration on my current equipment. That's got tenderizer. Okay. So maybe I'd change equipment. Go over to this. See what it's got. Blast attack plus 2. That's... either way. So my point is, you can change it up. And I could change this out for something like that. I don't know. Something like something like this. It'll give me the slot that I need to get weakness exploit maxed out, but I lose the white sharpness, which is unfortunate. All in all, this set, the way I have it set up, I have Healing Ice, which is the Nergigante set. So it doesn't have that elemental damage boost on critical hits, but it does heal me every time I land a hit. So I also have the Ice, which is the one that I first started with, and I have the Paralysis, which is an interesting set. It has evade window capped out, it has attack +2, it has paralysis attack capped out, it has handicraft capped out, and all in all, it's a really good set. And it has 20% affinity, so it generally would be good with the yeah, the other one. I also have a raw damage set, which I am using the Strategist glasses just to get critical eye up at 3. That way I'm not at negative affinity, although that's going to change as soon as I am able to augment this. And overall, this thing has a hefty amount of damage because I have the non-elemental decoration. 374 raw damage. Sword and Shield is not the best with raw damage. Raw damage is mainly for hammers and for great swords. Otherwise, Sword and Shield is amazing with elements. That's why I have this with the elements, generally. Let's see. I also have the Dragon Attack, and this is by far the highest elemental damage I can get. It's 580 Dragon Element. I have 2 pieces that increase Handicraft. So Handicraft is at 4, and I kind of need that in order to get the White Sharpness. And if you don't know, White Sharpness also increases elemental damage. So all in all, I'm repeating myself at this moment. How about we see it in action? Let's see. Let's go ahead and post a quest. I'm going to go to Investigations. Let's defeat a Tempered Odogaron on our own. Yes, and start Camp 11. Yes, and then change out to Ice because he's weak against Ice. So that's what I'm going to be using. Now remember, with this set, each time I critical hit, it does bonus elemental damage, and the elemental damage is already at 430, so that's really something to consider whenever going up against, you know, something with a lot of weak spots. It's pretty easy to rack up the criticals. And the Odogaron actually has a lot of weak spots. If you actually look at his physiology, his claws, his head, and his tail, they're all weak. His element weakness is to ice. He's also weak to paralysis, so my paralysis weapon could do pretty good. Oh, I haven't upgraded the TZTZ or the Palaluma yet. Oh, wait a minute. I think I did. I just gotta go down and talk to the researcher. Yeah, okay. Let's see, what else do I got? Hunter's Notes. Monster Field Guide. Let's see, all these are at 6 except Kirin. Well, 4 is capped out for these. I need to fight more Lavazioth and Urigan. Lavazioth, Urigan, and Kirin. That's it. Okay. Well, let's get started. So, I have destroyed the Odogaron multiple times with this setup. It's by far one of my favorite sets because of the how elemental damage is not really explained in this. So, you don't really understand it too much. But basically, it's divided by 10. So instead of being 430 damage, it would be 43 damage, which is still a lot. Let's switch. on the Rocksteady mantle. That way I don't have to worry about getting flinched. I get hit by something. There we go, perfect. And there is the Basilgast. Alright, I have a good, solid health recovery boost. Basilgast is just chilling there. And I'm going to use these to my advantage. Let him trigger him. I've been on fire this entire time. Seriously? Well. Alright, he is now limping. So I can just capture him. And that was pretty short. Let's see, I gotta combine, right? No. I didn't pick up any traps. Oh well. We'll just kill him. Oops. Back a little more. There we go. Mounted. There we go. Hit, hit, and then an elemental hit. And then he's dead. See, that wasn't so hard. And he was tempered, so I mean... Yeah. If any of y'all think this actually sucks, well, good luck. Good luck proving it. I got a plate. I don't need a plate. Material. So yeah, I've used the dragon set against the Valhazak or the Nergigante. I've used the lightning set against the Nergigante. I've used a lot of different sets versus Elder Dragons, and I rarely ever die because the Sword and Shield is so goddamn versatile. You know, especially against the Teostra, because you don't need to put your weapon away in order to flash bomb him when he's using his Nova Bomb. So Sword and Shield is amazing against the Teostra. Never underestimate the power of the Sword and Shield. It has a lot of versatility. I mean, seriously. And I got a bunch of crap from that. I got Intimidator, which is nice, but that's it. Ah, oh, come on! I'm so close to HR 100! Anyways, this has been my elemental sets. I know dual blades have better use of their elements because every single hit they do is elemental. But at the same time, I mean, this is still good for the elements. It's just not as good. So, one thing I recommend if you're going to use dual blades is get Constitution, because Constitution reduces the rate at which your stamina depletes whenever you are in demon mode, which is also amazing, if you didn't already know. But let's take a look at the dual blades and see exactly what elemental dual blades I can come up with for my next elemental set. And then I will chat with you later. Weapons, let's go to dual blades, let's go to the tree. Alright, so this has to be unlocked, but overall it has a pretty solid decoration slot, so you can get the free element unlocked. This I've already gone over, but it was this version. I haven't upgraded it yet. It's going to be awesome when it is. I don't think these are actually going to be a thing because it's only 150 ice element, although that is pretty high. It's not quite as high as I would like it. As far as dragon elemental goes, there's really only one choice, because everything else, while it is powerful, it's not that powerful. Odogaron dual swords, I always go with the non-elemental boost, the elementless boost, because it's just, I don't know, I think it's better that way. And Kirin, obviously, for lightning, because Kirin is amazing. And 270 elements for thunder is awesome. I would really recommend this for ice, because why wouldn't you? And with this set, I've been really considering getting the Rathalos chest piece, Rathalos helmet, and then see what I can do about the rest being Zora Magdaros. That way I can get blast and ice upgraded, and then every time I land a critical hit, it will be bonus for both blast and ice. So that is something I will consider. Let's see, as far as
let's forge equipment. Let's forge armor. I have that set, so let's see what else I can get out of it. Let's see the gauntlets. Where is it? There it is. I really don't need the gauntlets to be that. That's fine though. Yeah, but it takes away from... Okay, so the blast attack would be nice. What's the Rathalos? Alright, so Rathalos, regular Rathalos has attack bonus and fire resistance. Focus and windproof, completely useless. But on the flip side, the Zorah Magdaros is useless for that set. Except for the set bonus, it would be completely useless. And yeah, I could go with that. And then Bombardier. Bombardier could be nice. I could see that. Oh, but I'd have to fight Zorah Magdaros again because I don't have enough Zorah Magdaros ridges. I sell a lot of Zorah Magdaros stuff because I don't really care about it. But those two and the chest piece would be awesome, but the chest piece on the Rathalos would also be awesome because it has that weakness exploit. I don't think I could give up the weakness exploit for blast attack. I just don't think it's in the cards. But yeah, probably. No, the helmet I don't think is an option either. Because the Rathalos has a really good helmet. I don't know. That would be an interesting set to have, though. Yeah, this Rathalos has a really good helmet as well. So, you know, it's like... Oh, wait a minute. Focus. Oh, rate at which your weapon with gauges fills. So that would help my dual blades. So this is what I would use. And then the helmet for the Zorah Magdaros. Yeah, okay. I have a set now. I just gotta fight the Zorah Magdaros and then a Baroth, and then we'll see how it works out. But anyways, this has been Fledgling Gamer, and I am going to stop recording now. So, enjoy!